Yo guys, it's Vin. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to cast a Centerpin reel. I've had a few subscribers ask me on doing a detailed video on how I learned how to cast a Centerpin. So I'm going to give you my explanation on kind of how I learned. And just a disclaimer, I am not a professional at casting, so this is just my take, my kind of tutorial on how to do it. So let's get right into it, guys. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Alright guys, so for this little tutorial I'm going to be using a Raven Fast Deep 15 gram float here. I'm on my local river. This is my hometown river and it's pretty big water, so we can tend to get away with bigger floats. Obviously those of you fishing smaller creeks, tributaries, stuff like that, a lower float is recommended, using like a 6.2 or like an 8. Sometimes I've even used 4 gram floats. So I've got my 15 gram Raven float here, and I've just got it pegged with a 1/2 ounce barrel weight, and I'm just going to be using this for demonstration purposes, just giving you a little bit of insight on how to start casting. Okay, so when I first started, this was my very first pin that I picked up right here. This is in Okuma Sheffield, just a regular old pin, nothing crazy. And when I first started fishing, what I would do, and I'm going to use my home river as an example, I would start at the very top of any run that I wanted to fish, and I would literally just take my clicker off and just drop my float in just like that. And I would try practicing like mending my line, stopping my line, you know, so my float would float perfectly. And slowly I started to learn how to properly cast a float. So once again, you're just going to reel it in, you know, drop your float right at the top of any run that you're fishing, just like so, and you're just going to let it float down. Just going to let it run down, and you're going to practice, you know, using like the whole mechanics where you're just using your hand instead of having a drag system. Alright, so that is like step one, brand new, spanking beginner, you know, and not even a clue on how to cast. You know, you can still come out here and hopefully hook a fish by just dropping your float and watching it ride out just like that. So the next thing I started to kind of do was just literally swing my rod with the weight. So I would start here, my hands off the reel, and I would just go like that, and I would cast it just like that. I wouldn't be touching the reel, I wouldn't be loading the reel at all. I would literally just be swinging it, free swinging it like that, and letting the reel do the job. Because right there you're just using the weight from your float setup, and you're loading your rod tip, and you're just trying to launch it out there. So I got my hand off and I'm casting it out, and I'm getting maybe 10-15 feet with that cast. So once again, it's not a full cast, but now instead of just fishing the run that I'm right on top of, I can hit maybe that next run and work my way down that way. And once again, you're just going to let your float ride out. And I'll show you one more time. Keep your float above the water. You're going to let go of your reel. You're going to turn around and you're going to load it, and you're going to cast it just like that. And you should be getting about 10 to 15 feet, small little lob cast with your float and letting it ride out. Now, the next cast is where it really starts to get a little bit tricky, and like I mentioned in the intro, I am not a pro by any means, so I know there's going to be some haters trying to comment on it, but what you want to do if you really want to get some line out there, when you cast, you want to pull down on your reel just like that, and you're going to load that Centerpin reel and you're going to cast it out. So I'm going to try to keep my reel in frame here. You're going to pull down just like that, and you're going to let the reel do the work, and you're loading the rod tip, and you're simply just flinging it out there. So once again, you're going to pull down on it, your reel's doing the work, and right there that was like a 20-30 foot cast without even putting any sort of weight into my cast. I believe that's called the Wallace cast. Don't quote me on that, but it's a very easy way, especially if you're fishing tight quarters. you know, you don't have the room to reach all the way back and do a full cast, it's a good, easy way. Or if you're just standing, you bring your bobber up to you, you let it swing out, you pull down on your reel, and you cast out just like that. And believe me, this takes practice. It seems like a very simple concept, but you're gonna be instinctively pulling the line and then coming out and getting all sorts of tangled up. But you gotta just remember to keep your finger down, and then it's just gonna, you just wanna kind of follow the line until it closes up on the reel, and then you just let it ride out. I'll show you one more time. You got your float coming towards you. As soon as it's kind of going away from you and loading the rod, that's when you're gonna pull down. So just like that. Boom, nice and easy. Now the very last one that I want to show you, it's called a side cast. This is when you're gonna hold your reel like this, and you're gonna kind of pull the line off to the side of your reel, and it's just gonna flow out just like that. And that is if you really, really want to bomb some casts out there. You'll be able to just load up like this. As soon as you're gonna go in your forward swing, you're gonna take your hand off of this reel, and you're gonna keep your finger right here parallel with the reel, and it's just gonna fly out just like that. There is you do get some line twists when casting out like that, but like I said, I will only side cast when I really want to get a cast out there 50, 60, 70 yards. I'll do a big old side cast like this, and it'll get way out there. If I want to fish a run that I can't really get closer to, I'll just bomb out my cast like that. So let me do one more cast here for you guys. You'll go like this, take your hand off the reel, and boom, just like that. And guys, like I mentioned, practice makes perfect. You're not just gonna come out here and pick up the center pin and be bombing 50, 60 yard casts. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take practice. Like I mentioned, you know, to start off, come to the top of your run, just let your reel, just let your float ride out, just like that. Watch it ride, you know, kind of learn the way you're supposed to manage your float. The second cast, you know, just let the reel open up, load it up, and you know, you'll get maybe 5, 10, 15 feet on that type of cast. And then my favorite, which I believe, once again, I think it's called the Wallace cast. You're just gonna let your float come to you, you're gonna load it, and then you're gonna lift up on the reel, and you're gonna let it. You're gonna have your finger right under the reel, and that's what's gonna load it, and you're just gonna give it a nice lob out there, guys. And then once again, the final cast is your side cast, which I just goofed up. But for kind of step-by-step casts on like progression, you're gonna start off by just letting your float ride, then you're just gonna do a reel load cast, and then you're gonna do your Wallace cast, and then your side cast. So practice makes perfect, guys. Make sure to pick up a pin, give it a shot. You know, once you really dial the center pin in, it's honestly the best kind of fishing you can do. So thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped you. If you want an in-depth, like a lot more explanation in this video, I can definitely make a more in-depth video. I just had a few subscribers ask me because they wanted to get into center pin fishing this fall. So quick short video. I hope you guys enjoy. Give this video a thumbs up if you find it somewhat helpful. Thanks for watching, guys.